Dennis!
What's up, man?
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good, my brother.
Man, thank you for the drink, man. I was thirsty.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. It's been what? A year? Year and a half?
It's been about a year
About a
since
year.
the last time we sat down, for sure.
You got your phone on
I do.
right?
I do. I'm good.
All right, cool.
I think. Yeah, I'm good.
You good? Good. Man, what's been up, bro?
A lot of changes, a lot of growth, personal growth.
Yes.
I think you may be looking at a different Dennis than when we sat down a year and a half ago. Still tenacious, still excited, but just excited about different things.
So are you more wise now?
Definitely. I've been through enough to I'm more wise.
Ice is good. That's that good ice, like crushed ice. Anyway, so Dennis, I noticed when I drove up to your spot, I didn't see all the cars that's normally here. I didn't hear the kids. Normally outside boxing, the plan, whatever. I come in here, beautiful home, but I come to silence. And that's never happened ever at the Dotson's house, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So what the hell is going on, bro?
Well, since the last time we talked, my kids are at school first.
Okay.
And that's why they're not here. But I am divorced now.
Oh.
And no, don't it's good, but sometimes it stings.
Yeah.
But for me, it had to happen.
Okay.
I love family structure.
I know that. You always about your kids, yeah.
I want someone who is willing and ready to rock with me, not through just the good times, right? Through the tough moments. Because everybody rocks with you when the high times, right? Everybody looks good during that moment. But when it takes a dip, you get to see the real character show up.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand that part.
And it's difficult.
Change,
and it's difficult. And that's what it is.
I understand change.
It's when you grow, sometimes you grow apart. If I were to be completely candid, I think that we were divorcing a very long time before we actually got a divorce, right? So we were actually going our separate ways early on.
Right.
And I don't look at it as a failed marriage as much as I look at it as, hey, we grew.
You learned from.
We learned.
Yeah.
Now I'm a different guy. Like when you say you walked in and you just heard silence. That was the silence that I had to deal with after my divorce. I had to deal with now I had to deal with Dennis. I couldn't point at anybody else.
Right. Yeah.
I couldn't say, hey, it's your fault. I say, no, it's what have I done? What have I done? How did I cause certain things to happen? Why am I like this? I don't know if you've heard of the theory of 5 whys.
I have earlier. Yeah.
So the theory of 5 whys, basically, you can ask why 5 times in order to find the root of any problem. And so when I started asking myself why this, why that, right? And not pointing it at anyone else, I discovered my root problem.
Because we really cause what we call it, right?
Of course. So I started discovering, what Dennis's real core issues are. And
which are what?
Well, as I asked myself why, I realized that I deal with a real fear of abandonment.
Oh.
Like, being that my dad left when I was 2 years old, my whole life I struggled in that area, right? And so I either do 2 things. I either pull the relationship really close or I push it away. And I think that caused me to be controlling, maybe even jealous, right? But really it's just the fear of somebody leaving.
Leaving you.
Right?
So you say your dad left you when you was 2.
Yes.
Do you have a relationship with your dad right now?
Yeah, my dad actually lives with me now.
Oh, your dad stays?
Yeah, he lives here now.
How's that?
That's different because you got to realize, I never had I had a father figure in my grandfather, but he had his own family, his own life or whatever, but I never had, a dad in my house. And so the first time, it's so funny, my dad comes in my house and he says, Dennis. And I was like, man, if you don't lower your voice in my house, having another man say your name in your house, don't talk through my walls. Right? Don't talk through my walls in my house. So no, it's different. But it's good at the same time because I've learned a lot about myself by watching him. Okay. So I see a lot of negatives, right, in him. He's a different kind of guy.
Right. He's street, right?
he got some things about him that's a little different. Yeah. But that said, I can see those negatives, and I can also see the positives. Some of the things that I get from him, some of the things I get from my mom. You know, I see.
Your mom's a sweetheart. Yeah, she's sweet. She is. And thank her for the craft service.
Absolutely,
they did awesome.
Yeah. So you know, my mom, I see a lot of me in her. I see a lot of. You gotta realize, my whole life I never saw my dad.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know he's living with you now, like
living with me now.
For how long has he been living here?
I guess it's been maybe 9 months now.
What do y'all talk about? Like,
we talk about everything. How
you forgave him, I guess, since he's living here?
Of course. It was easier for me to forgive him than my sister. My sister is now came along, but it was harder for her than for me, because my life I sought after, like I wanted the relationship with me and my dad. Now that I'm older, though, I don't necessarily need it as much.
Yeah, man, right? It's like you grown now, right?
Yeah, I don't necessarily need it as much, but it has been a good thing to actually hear his voice, hear his perspective on things, even if we completely disagree.
Because you came from him.
I came from him.
There's this curiosity about him.
Yeah. So to answer some of those questions, that's a good thing. But we talk about everything. He knows stuff that nobody else knows, because he gets to see what's really going on in the Dotson household.
Right. Of course.
He gets to really see.
I mean, plus he still knows you because, you is his son. I mean, you are his son.
Absolutely.
So your dad's living with you now.
Yes.
Okay. And did he call you out the blue like, hey, here's your dad. I know it's been like 35,100 years, but let's build a relationship. Let's.
No, it didn't work like that.
Okay.
When I was 18, I think that him and I connected back.
Okay, so it was.
But we weren't continuously in communication. But I think maybe 6 years ago, when my ex and I were about to divorce, I did talk to him.
So this was 6 years ago. Y'all want to divorce?
Yeah, man. Oh, wow. See, people don't know that me and my ex, we were divorcing for a long time. Like, this was not when I bought this house, we bought this house knowing that we were divorcing.
So it was a plan. It was a plan.
It was a plan and strategy. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, him and I had started our communication. Then he gave me some pointers and tips on what to look for, because him and my mom divorced, and that's unfortunate, because you can see that cycle. Yes. Right, you see that cycle of divorce and broken families and whatever that. And I'm trying to change that for sure. So next time I get married, which I do.
Wait! Next time you get married.
So next time I get married, there will be no divorcing.
Okay,
I won't divorce it.
That takes the interview around on another level. Oh. So, is there anyone that you're seeing right now?
And again, I'm gonna tell you that I'm happy.
Happy, like super happy, or just happy?
No, I'm super happy. I'm in a good space, right? Because I'm now able to deal with Dennis, right, in a way that I've never been able to deal with myself.
Because of the silence, right?
Yeah, because you can't point at anybody. You can't look at anybody else as the problem. True. You're the problem, so you have to improve. As long as there's somebody around which you can point those issues at, you'll never improve until you say, you know what, it's me that gotta change, right? So that's why I say I'm happy. I'm in a good space because I realize those things about me, and I'm consistently trying to improve those things.
I think that's an amazing word that you use, improve, right? Mm-hmm. Because you know what? Think about this, okay? Yeah. Working. They always say that you have to improve in your performance. Those two are very, very scary words, right?
For sure.
So, since you've been on this journey, the chapter of your life closed for
sure
for that particular lady,
for sure.
Okay, and no dissing nobody, but that's closed. You learned from that, and you improved yourself because of the silence and
because of that moment. If it weren't for that moment, I would not have been forced to improve, right?
Okay. Because I notice now it is a new Dennis Dotson.
Yeah, for sure.
I noticed that you are more, and I know that you always loved the youth, okay, but now I know that your business is turned to the youth now. Yeah. Because I know that you have like a boxing club, whatever.
Yeah. We have a nonprofit called Level Up Life.
Level Up Life?
Level Up Life.
Okay.
So the whole focus is just for us to build confidence in our youth and give them a platform to be able to offset some of the negative that they experience all the time. Yes. We want to make sure that we're giving that positive energy. Okay. And we have various programs and stuff like that for them to be a part of.
So it's totally free?
It's totally free.
And where can they sign up at?
Cedar Hill Rec Center right now, and we're looking to partner up with multiple. And right now we have a big project going on. I don't know if I should announce it here. I don't know. I don't know if it's.
It's my show. Go ahead.
No. It's not an exclusive, but we're working on something major that is going to changed the whole community.
That's good.
Major.
Everybody, as far as the community.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so, with a level up life, what is your biggest goal with level up life? Like, what's your...
The biggest goal is to literally just make an impact.
Okay.
Like, may not change everybody. Everybody who comes through level up, let me give you a story real quick. One of our kids tried to commit suicide.
Oh, wow.
One of our youngest kids, right, tried to commit suicide. Has had a rough upbringing like myself, right? Maybe battling internally, but the boxing, level up life boxing has been his outlet, his connection,
right,
to make him want to continue to keep striving and thriving, right? That's all we want to do.
That's good, man.
We want to provide that. Here you go. Stay connected.
Be that
don't give up.
centerpiece.
Yeah, don't give up. Don't stop punching. That's our little theme. Don't stop punching.
Okay, I like that.
You know,
don't
so
stop punching.
Yeah, so
that's good.
So that's really the whole. And now we have a Level Up Life basketball as well. We have a basketball program that we're about to roll out. We have a good partnership with the Rec.
Can you dunk?
I'm
thinking, you know, do you
I no, not anymore. I'm 36, man. I'm 36.
This guy, I'm older than him. So, okay, so Level Up Life, you know what, I actually had a chance, you know, to go to one of your free sessions, was it about 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, whatever, at the Rec Center? It was awesome, man. I was so amazed about how many kids, and also grown-ups was there.
That's right.
Like they were all inside this big room, boxing.
Yeah.
So did you always know that you wanted to do something like that as far as impact the community, or was it this divorce that had you was able to think about what really matters to you?
That's a good question, but if anybody who knows me, you can go all the way back to when I was like 18 years old. I've always been a socialpreneur. I've always been that. I've always been heavily grounded in my contribution. I think that post that little line in the sand in my life, after that thing happened, it just realigned my focus. That's all. So I just started focusing on what I knew that I needed to be doing versus chasing money. You can make a lot of money in this world, but you can't leave legacy in tangible things, right? You can only leave legacy in people.
Truth.
Right? So I decided that my focus needs to be on people, right? And be that socialpreneur that I know I am. You know? Okay. So that's where that came from.
Last time we talked, as far as the interview, we was at the musical conference, right? No, it was South by Southwest.
Yes.
In Austin, and you had so many different projects going on, bro. And I know that you retitled your book.
Yeah, How to Think Like an Entrepreneur. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
It's still the same Cliff mindset, but I added and changed a few things on it. But it's still the same book. It has more tools in it. I still use it as the curriculum for our entrepreneurship program and Level Up Life, and really excited about that. It tells my story, but it also gives some nuggets in there. You know, so yeah.
You know I'm nosy, right? I mean, there's
no problem. That's why you're a good interviewer. That's why you are a good interviewer.
Because I'm always interested in people's lives, right?
Yes.
Because you know we all have different journeys that we take, right?
Yes.
I mean, different paths on our journey, I should say. And we always talk. We have these deep conversations. Okay. And I got to go back to the other lady that you're dating, and not to you know to tell her name, whatever. I don't care about her name, okay. But what I do care about is, do your values and her values line up?
As relates to what?
As far as communication, because I mean, I would think that because your last marriage didn't work, was it a communication issue there? So
I'm different. The way I approach communication is different. Where at first I had to be heard, right? I don't feel that need anymore. Okay. So I don't feel the need to prove my point, right? So if you and I don't agree, we can agree to disagree.
Correct.
Or I can agree to try to understand you, right? So I'm just trying to understand. So if I have to ask you a question, it's only because I'm trying to understand. It's not because I'm trying to keep you or wrap you up in something or try to jam you up. So like me, I have a debating spirit always. I've always been like that. But now, in relationship, I don't see that as a valuable tool.
Right, it's not.
Right? Because look, Chris Rock said it best. When you're in a relationship, you should be going, meaning traveling. Mm-hmm. You should be coming, having sex. Right? You should be going.
That's always fun.
Going and coming. Yeah. And I added to that, I said you should be building. Right. You should be going, coming, and building in a relationship. Everything else, all that other stuff, there's sometimes it really doesn't. Right. Not at my age. At my age, listen, I just want to travel, have a great time, enjoy the person that I'm with, and making sure that we're building something that's worth, our time. Because the reason why we have to be building something is because when we may not agree, right, we always still have that center piece that we're, committed to.
Right. Like me, I've never been married before. My twin brother, he's married. He's got 2 kids. They've been married for like 10 years now. And I constantly hear them talk, and they seem like they're in love, right? But then I hear other stuff. I'm like, man, that's crazy, What was the hardest thing that you had to change about yourself when you got married?
When I got married?
Yeah, like when you was married. Like, what was the difficult?
I didn't change anything.
Oh, that's what I see. Okay.
Well, I didn't change anything. I was who I was, and you had to understand that. You were coming into my world.
I see.
That's how I looked at it, right? You were coming into my world, right. So why would I change, right?
That's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah.
So now, my mentality is different.
Okay.
We both have unique paths, right? You have your individual path. I have my individual path. We just have a coupled experience. So your path is your path. I don't have to control that path. See, the way I was always taught is that you become one, right? And you become one. But see, that is not really as healthy as you think. I don't want for you to lose who you are. Right. I want for you to stay you. That's what attracts me to you in the first place, you being you, right? But if you dive all the way into my path and then you lose your path, right?
Then she's not happy.
I'm not happy either.
Because you're not attracted to
I'm not
what
attracted
made
to
her.
That's right.
Okay.
What makes you you is what makes you you.
Right.
Right? Now, in my, I don't want to dive too far into the previous relationship or anything like that, but it was just a different dynamic relationship anyway from its beginning. From its beginning was just different, right? Because I had a void that I was personally filling. So I was trying to fulfill the need of being needed.
So have you ever seen? Did you seek counseling?
Of course.
When you got divorced? Because one thing I got to say, and maybe you can disagree or agree, whatever.
Okay.
Our people, we all
we have a stigma on that.
We don't go seek counseling.
No, we don't. We don't. It's taboo. It's taboo to get counseling. We think that you just have to deal with it. But the truth is, some of the stuff that we experience, all the stuff that we take in, from poverty to some of the stuff we've seen in our neighborhoods to the experiences or whatever, some of that you need to talk about.
Yes.
And so to answer your question, did I seek therapy? Absolutely.
Yes.
Right? And I started being able to identify some of the, when I got a divorce, I was feeling like real separation anxiety. Right. Not because I wanted that person, because watch this, I wanted a divorce, right? But when it was actually done, I was struggling. Yeah. And I was like, what is this? Yeah. What is this feeling? Not because I wanted this person, but because I didn't know how to be alone.
You were alone. Yeah.
I didn't even know how to be alone. Like, What do you mean? Since high school, I've been in a relationship.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Not with that person.
Somebody.
I always had somebody. Right. Always. And so I didn't realize that I had created
issues.
Yeah. I had created all these unhealthy attachments.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, because one thing I notice about our community is we always say, pray about it. And I tell people, prayer is strong. It's good.
Sure.
But we have these amazing people that are amazing therapists, and they can help you through whatever problem you know. So I'm happy that you got through that.
Appreciate it.
Do you ever see yourself getting married again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But you're gonna do things different, of course, right?
Yeah, I'm a different person though.
Right.
Yeah. So my whole approach would be different in the first place, right? I wouldn't just marry, somebody just because. I would have a clear reason, and we would have the same communication, same foundation, values or whatnot, or being willing to build on what we already have, right? So I don't judge anybody on if we can celebrate together. I want to know how we deal with problems.
Your issues. That's one of the biggest things that I read over the years, statistically says that most marriages become doomed because of financial issues. They say
financial stress causes it.
Just recently, was it a couple of days ago? This one guy killed his 2 precious baby daughters and his wife because I believe the financial issues. So did you guys face financial issues in your marriage at all?
No. Okay. That wasn't our struggle. So the study that I saw, 50% of marriages fail, right?
Yeah.
And out of those 50% of marriages that fail, 70% of those those divorces were filed by the woman. Majority of those women, I think it was like 98% of those women filed divorces because of controlling men.
Yes.
Right? So I think that my issues in my marriage was because I was controlling. Because I controlled my whole life.
Because your dad wasn't there.
Not just because my dad wasn't there, but because I had to control the success, right? I had to be successful, right? So in my brain, that person was coming into my world.
Right.
So I don't trust you to make decisions for my world.
True.
So you can either get with this or, right? So that's unhealthy.
That's very unhealthy.
That's unhealthy.
You know, and I would be happy and interested to seeing and knowing, like you said, those controlling men that are in these marriages. I would like to understand their psyche, right? Because I'm pretty sure that they don't go seek therapy. Because you know, I think a lot of times we as men are not taught how to express ourselves on our feelings, right?
Of course, we can express anger.
Yes, that feeling, that emotion.
We can express that. Sometimes we can express hurt, but it'll come out as anger.
Yes.
Right? We can express love, but then it comes out as sex. Yeah. This is how we, you know what I mean? So
I need therapy.
So at the end of the day, to piggyback on what you said, no, we don't know how to express ourselves. And then when you get into a relationship, you're forced now to have to deal with things that and women have tons of emotions that they deal with. More than men.
Yeah, because the body changes.
Listen, there's actual studies shown, right? They hooked up, I think it was like 12 women, 12 men to the same machines, same stimulus that they put in front of all of them. Men had maybe 3 or 4 reactions to the stimulus that they saw.
Right.
Women had like 34 to actually prove the fact that they had more emotions than men. Like, because women say, "Oh, we're not." Yeah, of course you can. It's very hard to So men, we deal in logic. Women deal with emotion a lot of times. Now, here's the thing: we try to make it seem as if they're right, or they try to make it they're right or they're wrong, or we try to make it we're right or we're wrong. From now on, in any relationship, I don't deal with right and wrong. You know what I deal with? What's healthy?
Right. You gotta agree what's healthy.
No, what's healthy? Yeah. Now we have to ask that question.
Right.
So if we're arguing right now, you know, we're in a relationship and we're arguing.
Right.
Is it healthy for us to even debate this? Where are we going with it? What are we doing?
Because like you said, you're not building.
You're not building. So we should be going, coming, and building.
Right.
That's it. So anything outside of that,
a song, hip hop song.
So at the end of the day, if it's not healthy for us to deal with, if I'm upset because she doesn't cook, right? It's probably healthy if I stop and grab something to eat on the way home, or learn how to cook with the family, because it's not on her to cook. Who taught me that? That's another thing that we're not doing.
Different people's philosophies,
but we're not challenging what we were taught.
I do.
No, I know you do, but I'm saying in general,
true.
In general, we're taught a certain thing. Yes. And we don't challenge that.
Ever. In everything that we do.
In everything. And then the people who are teaching it fail.
You know what's so funny? Okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Take that back. Like, you got to listen to it. The people who are teaching that a woman should do this. They're not
even married.
They're not even married.
Yeah, they're divorced 5 times over.
So guess what? Maybe the woman that you have, maybe she don't do that. Okay. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever think that it's possible? Maybe the woman that you have, maybe she don't cook. Maybe it's you that need to learn how to cook.
Truth.
Maybe she doesn't do XYZ. Maybe you should.
Truth.
Right? Because at the end of the day, it's not about what everybody else does. What works for us.
Oh, yeah. But listen, Dottie, I agree with you. Okay, listen. Okay, prime example. Okay. I was at work the other day, right? Uh-huh. And I'm sitting in my office, and a teacher came by. We was talking, and they were like, you know, how was your summer? I was like, my summer was awesome. You know, they go, are you ready for this school year? I'm like, I'm ready for the school year. Bring it, I love it. And so we got into different conversations, whatever. Then we got into the race issue. He said, Ray, and I was raised that black people were underneath us. But then he said, but you know what? I took a long, hard look, and I had to question my mom and dad's philosophies of black people, or our thought about black people.
No, that's right, though.
Because I'm going to church, and I am trying to be a Christian.
Yeah.
He said, and their philosophies and the views of Jesus Christ's philosophies
sure
didn't match up.
Sure. So I think that we have to challenge everything that we were taught.
Yes.
You know, I really do, because
which is hard to do in this sometimes. It's hard to do.
It's hard only because you think that it's right. You think because you were taught that way, that's just the way you were taught, and you settle with that understanding. Look, if it's not working for them, if it hadn't worked for you, you should challenge and say, you know what, this is how I was taught that men are, or this is how I was taught that women are. I should challenge that thought. Like, no, this is not. My sister taught me this lesson. I mean, that's my go-to conversation a lot of times with my sister.
You know what? She's very talented too.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, a lot of y'all don't understand, but you know, he is kind of modest. His sister's like a big time decorator designer. You know, she's like.
Hey, this is not her interview.
I know, but she's awesome.
Let's not give it.
She's awesome.
No, seriously, but she literally told me, Dennis, it's not about how everyone else's relationship is.
Right.
It's about how your relationship is. What works for you.
You know, you keep running around this question. You keep tiptoeing around this question.
What question?
Who you dating, bro? The world want to know who you know what I mean? They want to know who you dating, bro.
Why?
Why not?
I mean, why would the world want to know who Dennis is seeing? Who I'm sleeping with? Who I'm spending my time with? Like, why would the world care? I don't even think
it's like asking.
I personally don't think that the world cares.
It's like asking, why does the world like reality shows? They like the drama.
Yeah, but there's no drama here. You're not gonna get any drama.
Well, suspense, I should say.
The suspense. Well, that's
because it's killing everybody. I mean, you know, because I'm normally seeing you with, you know, your older lady, right?
You haven't seen that in 2 years.
No.
2.5 years.
No, that's not true.
Yes.
Has it been that long?
Yes. You haven't seen that in 2.5 years.
So that's part of the curiosity, right? Do you love her?
Who?
Is she white, black, Mexican, Chinese?
Really? What are you doing?
I'm asking, like,
if she was white, what would that do?
No, I was curious.
If she was black, well, how would that help?
I'm just curious.
If she was Hispanic,
I like all the.
Would that change anything?
No.
Come on. Can't go too deep in that.
wait. So you give me these vague answers, okay? Like, okay, you met her on Facebook, which you didn't. Wrong.
You see what you're doing?
You reconnected with her on Facebook.
Well, no, I didn't say that. I'm just saying through Facebook is how I reached out. I said I slid into the deal.
It's a powerful tool. It can hurt you or help you, right?
For sure. You gotta make me take my glasses off. Yeah. This is hilarious to me.
So you knew her before Facebook, right? Obviously, right?
Before Facebook? Facebook has been around.
He's making me sound stupid. Let me be precise. So you have talking to her and met her before.
So if this woman is identified, right? If you get your answer, that helps you, right?
And make my life so much sweeter.
Why?
I feel like I accomplished something. My life is worth living now.
You wouldn't accomplish anything by knowing that.
I'm excited. Listen, I'm delighted. I'm excited that you're happy. I'm glad that you found this new Dottie. I think it's also, you know,
how do you even know that it's somebody? I could just be happy with myself.
Because I know you.
What do you mean you know? Say it.
Okay. You're always happy with yourself, right?
No. I'm not always happy with me.
Well, in this space right now, you are.
Yeah, right now I'm really good.
But you just told me that, okay, so did you meet yourself on Facebook? Did you inbox yourself on Facebook? I mean... Okay, I'm not getting anywhere with this right here. I get it. So you're gonna keep the world and the Facebook.
It's nothing to find out except for I'm happy, right? Everyone should embrace the fact that we all evolve, right. And who you're is none of my business. You know what I mean?
I never said that. Whoa!
That's what you're asking.
No, I never said that. I said who you was dating. You went the next level. Ooh, cut that part out. Bleep. No, what I was asking was, that was deep.
Because look, I'm serious. It's 2018. Are we still concerned about who's and who in 2018? Are we? I mean, seriously though.
I'm not.
I just really can't see in my brain
right.
who Dennis is seeing. If I haven't chose to be very, not that I've hid anything.
Well, not that you're hiding it now. You're not.
I'm definitely not hiding.
You're trying to help her out.
Yeah. Well, it's not it. What's the point? What's the point? Now, if she wants to, do that.
Divulge that information.
I'm all for it if she wants to.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. If she wants to put it out, great.
I'm gonna respect that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, as you should.
Do I know her? I mean, No.
Maybe you do. I don't know. I don't know who you know.
This guy. Wow.
I don't know who you know.
A book of riddles.
I'm not a book of riddles. I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm off that topic. I'm done with that.
Cool.
No more questions for me about who you're dating.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that people wanted to know that.
Well, matter of fact, before I got up here, a couple folks asked me to ask you that question.
No, they didn't, Ray.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
It's like we didn't know who he is. I was like, okay, I'll ask him, and I told him that's why I get, just running around.
You told him that I would respond like this?
Yeah, these riddles, these.
It's not a riddle.
These parables and passages, and and. But anyway, okay. So, Dottie.
Yes.
We come to a close.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, my brother, I am glad that you're happy. It's good, and I definitely can see a change.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you.
You seem more wise. You seem like you just kind of step back a little bit and kind of like take everything in and listen. And one thing that I've learned when I was growing up, because I'm older than you, is they taught me how to listen. And when you listen, you do learn. You learn a lot about yourself, right? So I wish you much success with all your endeavors.
Thank you, my brother.
And just continue doing your good thing, man. I'm glad that you're happy, whoever she or he is.
Right?
And
First of all, it's definitely not a he.
Oh, good. I got that the way. Okay.
Did anybody think that it was a he?
No, I'm
I was about to say, what the?
I'm messing with you, Daddy.
I mean, hey, if that's what somebody wants to be with a he, or he wants to be with a he, that's their business. Yeah. But Dennis is definitely not.
Right. No, but I'm being serious. Listen, seriously, I'm happy to see that you're happy.
Thank you.
I'm glad that your kids are still boxing. Is your daughter still singing, by the way?
She's singing. She's boxing. She's doing everything.
Yeah.
She's excelling.
But seriously, from my heart, to your world, man, much success to you. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you're happy, bro. All right.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for the interview.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Can I take him as a movie?
Go ahead.